Okay, welcome to the power sharpening stage of the power pillar that we're working on. This is the last phase of it. As with the other ones, when we choose it, it gets us into 1 minute of diaphragmatic breathing. So we have John with about 15 seconds left of that, and he's doing his diaphragmatic breathing, preparing for the sharpening phase of power. In the sharpening phase, we're going to develop what we call this dynamic resilience. And that's an interaction that John is going to have with the screen in relation to his breathing and his heart. Before, he just had to stay above 70 in coherence. He's coming out of the chute at almost 60, but it's going to get higher as he goes. You can see it going up, which is pretty amazing. But now he has some new feedback for himself. You see, John is different right now than he was 30 seconds ago. So the idea that you're just going to breathe the same way continuously doesn't really fit with the fact that John is changing. And so what we're doing now is we're giving him input on his heart so he knows how to adjust his breathing, either making it slower or faster. That is a unique feature that you'll see in Inner Armor that doesn't exist in any other program that we are aware of, which is this dynamic breath. You can see his heart is really working well in its synchronicity. And then in the bars to the right there, you'll see red, green, and blue. The red show us how much stress is in the heart at any given moment. And the blue is telling us how much fatigue. Ideally, we want as much green as possible. And what you see is in that first 40, 50 seconds, there was a lot of red. So what John did intuitively was he slowed down his breathing about a half a breath so that his heart would relax just a little bit more. Then he's noticed a tiny bit of blue recently, so he's also now, a minute and a half after that, picked up the pace of his breath. So he's gaining what we call dynamic resilience, because whether it's a long board meeting or it's 9 innings of a baseball game, there's ups and downs. There's moments where there's a high degree of stress, and there's moments where there's a high degree of fatigue, and there's moments where the demand is that you're completely in the zone. And this lets us see all of that. The points accrued on the right, we want those to be over 600, and that is an algorithm of how much percentage of green there is to the red and the blue. Again, this is a unique algorithm for Inner Armor that causes these power points to happen. You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to get 600 power points. When you get 600, like John just did, you'll get a star, okay? And then what we need is 10 sitting stars and then 10 standing stars. When he's gotten a total of 20 of those, he can then move on to the next section. John did exceptionally well here, and we hope to see you doing the same with power sharpening.